Now, it's exactly 3 years since the UK voted to leave the European Union. And with the leave date pushed back, the uncertainty continues, not least for our farmers. Here's Adam with his latest look at what Brexit might mean for them.
For farmers all over the UK, the 24th of June 2016 started just like any other day, early. But we were all in for a seismic shock.
The day before, there'd been the biggest vote for a generation. 52% had voted to leave.
Psst, go on then. Brexit was going to happen, but so far it hasn't, and no one really knows what's going to happen next. Go on then. Go on, in you go.
In an attempt to find some answers, I'm meeting farmers from all over the UK to see how they're facing up to the challenges of Brexit. Earlier this year, I went to Yorkshire to visit a large-scale pig farm.
Which way did you and your family vote?
We all voted to leave, apart from Dad. I'm quite nervous now, to be honest, but we're going out, so we've got to, we've got to move on from it.
But today, I'm in Sussex to find out how Brexit is affecting a pedigree beef herd. In Britain, we're renowned for our high-end beef. We export about £450 million worth each year, 80% of which currently goes to the EU. Here on the slopes of the chalk downland of East Sussex is Jevington Place Farm, home to Stephen and Fizz Carr and their 200 Sussex cows.
These really are absolutely gorgeous cattle, aren't they? I mean, the Sussex, perfectly fitting.
Absolutely. That's where they belong, right in the heart of the county.
Yeah, well, they do look a picture today in the sunshine, don't they?
Tell me about their history.
Well, we're farming here on the South Downs, but actually the Sussex is far more associated with the north part of the county, up on the High Weald. Not the greatest agricultural land, so quite thin, difficult, heavy soils, not very fertile. And so the Sussex were developed to cope with that terrain, really.
And they suit your farming system here?
They do. The traits of the breed have just suited our organic system, which we've had for the last 10 years.
We spread them out very widely. You can see there's not many cattle to quite a large acreage, and they just thrive on this quite scanty grass. Very sweet meat, I think, it produces.
No concentrates, no grain.
These
cows don't know what a bag of cake looks like.
We could shake a bag at them now and they'd just go, what's that?
You're obviously very proud of them, and I can understand why, but you're in a dilemma now.
Brexit, obviously, has cast a shadow over the future of the industry. We've already had 2 or 3 years of uncertainty since the referendum result. There's no more clarity now than there was. But this is a long-term enterprise. A bull introduced to a heifer. The calf is 3-4 years away before it's ready to sell.
We don't know if we'll have a market. If there's no market for the beef, then what do? You can't carry on farming indefinitely without making some money at it.
So how are you deciding what to do with the economics in the balance?
We're just taking it 1 year at a time at the moment. We've just put the bull in. We decided that we'd go for it again this year. And then this time next year, we'll review it and see whether we'll do another year. I think that's all we can do, really. A year at a time and keep your fingers crossed.
And if it isn't working out, then what?
Well, doesn't best think about it, really.
No.
Fizz and Stephen can trace their herd back to 1878. Their cows represent generations of breeding expertise, with animals that are perfectly adapted to producing high-quality meat from poor pasture.
I mean, these cattle a part of our living heritage, and they're crying shame to see them go.
It would just be an appalling loss of a valuable diversity within farming.
To get them ready for market, the beef animals are brought down off the weald to the Pevensey marshes. It's waterlogged in winter, but come summer, its rich grass has been used to fatten cattle since medieval times. It takes around 2.5 years from birth to get the cattle into this condition, and it's only now that Stephen can start to weigh up any return on his investment. But the uncertainties of Brexit are looming large on his horizon.
And what are the actual threats, then, that could affect the price and the profitability of your cattle?
Well, we're protected by tariffs at the moment. There's a tariff of £1.50 for each kilo of meat that will come into the European Union. If the tariff is cut by the 50% that they're suggesting it's going to be, that's therefore going to knock somewhere between £200 and £300 off the value of each beast, depending on its weight.
Yeah. And therefore making your business unviable?
Absolutely. I don't think there'd be a farmer in the country that could produce beef with a reduction of that level at a profit.
With the World Trade Organization opening up our market, surely you have the possibility of sending our beef abroad?
That is optimistic, verging on the mad. The idea that the British beef is going to be competitive in a global market, when indeed at the moment it's relying for its very survival on a tariff that very nearly doubles the value of the cattle that we've got. We are simply not geared to be able to compete in world markets against the likes of, say, Argentina or Brazil.